on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're actually shooting live. So if you're watching this back on playback, wondering why this review is so long, it's because it was initially shot live. So, um, sorry I have not been uploading content as of pretty much the last month. It's just been a whirlwind of events happening. Long story short, ended up starting my new job, and it's been very demanding of time. And that, on top of that, we're fostering four more dogs, so I have 8 dogs in my house. Technically, the 4 dogs that we're fostering are puppies. They're like 3 weeks old, so they're very low demand. They're not very demanding as far as that's concerned, but I don't mean to go into a whole life story here, but I'm just trying to make up for lost time, I suppose. I did shoot a classifieds review, which should be up within the next couple days, as long as I have time to get to finishing editing it. But it's about 1/3 the way done. So just bear with me. Like I said, I'm sorry. Pretty much at this point, I'm working 6 days a week and not complaining about the money I'm getting. It's just very, very demanding as far as my time goes. So if you're wondering where have you been? You were pretty consistent for a little bit there, and that's just why. Another thing that I want to bring up before I lose sight of it is that I'm still on the fence if I'm going to Joefest this year. I know it's this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off for work to go. If I do happen to get off, I will probably maybe just travel down there for the day and then at least check out some of the panels, like the Valaverse panel, which I do want to check out, and just check out a couple of little events because it's only about a 2-hour drive for me. It's not too bad as far as where I live. So maybe I could just go down for a day and then pop back, and then I should be okay. But it all depends on if I can get off of work. And so, but I would like to get some live footage for you guys if I could. So maybe I'll try and do that. But I'm not going to be making a whole event like I did last year. Maybe next year I'll have a little bit more time to plan things, and things will be better as far as having all my ducks in a row. But anyway, we're not here to talk about all that. We're here to talk about the new Action Force figures. This is wave 2B. We already did wave 1 and then 2A. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. I do have some good and some good things to say about 2B. I think that after checking some of the joints straight out of package, I gotta say, all the joints on these guys straight out of package, very fluid, no issues like that 1A and even some of 2A had, or not 1A, but just wave 1 and then 2A kind of had some stiffness still in the joints and stuff like that. I think they went to different types of tolerances for the plastics, or they just kind of maybe just the break-in process is a little bit easier now for the figures, for the molds or whatever. Maybe the molds were too new and they just weren't as fluid. But whatever they did, I don't know what they did. I'm just throwing darts blindly at a board here. Whatever they did a good job, because I don't have any issues. This pretty much feels like I don't know, better than Hasbro quality straight out of package. I like the durability of the plastics. Still the same kind of plastic. It's a little bit of a tougher plastic. It's not as gummy as the Hasbro stuff that we're used to. Not saying that the Hasbro, plastics are crap or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, I just tend to like the plastics that they use for these figures as opposed to a very gummy figure that tends to not age well. I'm already seeing some older Marvel Legends starting to age very poorly, but anyway, I digress. That's not why we're here. We're not here to discuss that. I have to stay on task here. because I don't want to take up too much time. So we've got the Delta Trooper right here up front. He is this gentleman in all green and a balaclava. That's him. We'll get to him in a second. We have a Desert Rat, which I'm sure you guys all know. If you don't know, this is pretty much Analog Toys. He's a YouTuber. I'm probably not going to use this. I got all this dog hair. I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to use this as Desert Rat. I'm going to use this as a modern Dusty because I don't like that classifieds Dusty that's coming out. So he's going to be not Desert Rat. He's going to be Dusty. We'll get to him in a second as well. We've got the Garrison Trooper, which is the troop builder for Karak. He is in charge of the Garrison troopers. So we'll get to him as well. And then finally we have Trigger. He looks like most special ops guys do. I mean, I guess you could say he looks a little bit nomadish from Ghost Recon Wildlands in the head sculpt. I mean, it's pretty much any modern day operator. This is pretty much what they look like here. But I don't know. I like his look. It's, typical of what type of person he would be, but I think it looks good. So first one that we'll get to is the Delta Trooper. And the reason why I want to get to him first is because he has very little accessories, and that's due to, just pretty much him being a troop builder. He is, I think, around $21.99. So he's a lot cheaper than the regular Garden Variety releases, which were $31.99. He comes in this more simplistic box right here. And that's pretty much it. Just says Delta Trooper on the bottom. Action Force up top in the top right corner. Sway a little bit. Can I talk? Action Force on the side. Another picture of the Delta Trooper right there. And then we've got a nice little read-up. If you're watching this on playback, you can pause it and read it if you want to. But it's pretty much just a nice little read-up of what the Delta Trooper does and what he is a part of as far as factions and stuff like that. So pretty cool there. You also get your brownie points, as I call them, your action points. Save up those action points. He keeps, Bobby Valley keeps saying, save up your action points, save them up. It's going to be used for something. We still don't know what, though. So, there's also another weapons pack. There is a Delta gear set, which if you're buying one of these Delta Troopers, you're going to want to get a Delta gear set. Now, granted, personally, I feel like making separate purchases for this is kind of a moot point. That's just my opinion. Opinions may vary. I feel like if you're going to just do a troop builder and you've already given us the Garrison Trooper and he's all geared up, you might as well just give us the gear in the package and just charge the $31.99 at this point. I mean, I get it. At some points, you can these figures are kind of modular, so you can tear some of them down pretty much to the bone. I mean, you can take the boots off, you can take the feet off, you can disconnect the legs from the T-joints here. You can take the hands off. You can take the arms are a little bit more finicky. I don't really want to mess with taking arms off, especially when they have butterfly joints. But you can take the head off. You can just you can take the torso from the lower torso off. So, I mean, they are quite modular. I mean, I get it from that standpoint. But, I mean, if most people are really probably just going to gear these guys up, you might as well just sell it. That's just my opinion. But anyway, this pack does come with a plethora of things. It also comes with your action points again. Everything carded comes with action points. You've got a backpack here. You've got a helmet. You've got, ear muffs with a microphone or headphones, headset, whatever you want to call it. You've got a utility belt with a holster, extra magazines molded in. You've got a tack vest, a assault rifle, a pistol, a knife, a sheath, which is actually on the tack vest right there. And then you also have optics and some shooting effects, which is really cool. So that's everything that comes in the Delta gear set. It's very similar to Wave 1 and even Wave 2. Also very similar is the other gear set, which is Weapons Pack Charlie, excuse me. It comes in this like little briefcase, kind of futuristic looking briefcase thing. No action points on these small little guys. So you get action points on the gear sets, but not the weapons. That's just something to note. But in this gear set, we have what looks to be like a SCAR grenade launcher combo, a G36. It looks like either that to me looks like an ACR. I'm probably wrong, but whatever. Submachine gun, the MP5 pistol, and it looks to be like an AR of some sort. So there you go. That is Weapons Pack Charlie. Don't worry, I'm going to take everything out and show you everything, but I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on what the packaging looks like for this wave and everything. Yeah, that is that. Let's get to the display base. Display base says, whoa, upside down. Action Force right here, very similar to Wave 1. I love these display stands. They look really cool, and I love the fact that you can fit the file card on that little slot in the back. So keep this up. Great job on this. I love the embossed look right here. It looks fantastic. I love that it says Action Force. And you can actually, Bobby actually announced that now that Wave 3 is up, excuse me, I can't talk tonight. Since Wave 3 is up now, you can actually buy stands on their own. So you can get like a little stands pack if you want to for some other figures and stuff like that. So the figure itself looks really cool. He also comes with a bunch of hands, which we're going to be used to. I'll point them out here. I'm not going to point them out with each figure. They don't vary too much just in sculpt. Desert Rat, I think, is one of the few people that come with actual bear hands. So not actual like raw bear hands, but his regular hands. And here are those hands right there. So you get your fist hand, you get your gripping hand for the knives, which are really good. You get your cupping hand for, cupping your testicles. No, I'm just kidding. Cupping the rifle. And then you get your trigger hands, which are right here to start off with. You also get an extra head. You get a, black or Caucasian head, whichever you so choose. It's up to you. Personally, I think I'm going to turn this guy into Grunt. I'm going to turn him into like a modern day Grunt action figure because I don't have a Grunt, and I bet you anything that Classifieds is going to wait to do Grunt and like the rest of the OG 13. They'll probably do in some sort of exclusive pack that's, $300 or something. Or $400 or whatever. Prices are ridiculous now. But anyway, the figure itself, as far as the articulation does go, the head can swivel at a full 360 rotation. The head can look up. It is on a neck hinge joint. Looks up very well. Very pleased with that. He can also look down like so. Let's see if he can pivot side to side a little bit. Not so much. Just a little bit, though. He's got some job turkeys up in here. Oh, yeah, let's get the gobbles out. There you go with that. Arms go up. Arms go down. Full 360 rotation in the arm. He does have a butterfly joint, which is there. It does help, especially when you're trying to aim down sights, stuff like that, get into sniper poses, all that fun stuff. He does have a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, which is there. It's a little bit stuck on mine, but it is there. It can do about that. He does have a swivel at the wrist, and he does have pistol hinges, so vertical hinges on this side. And I believe the hands, let me just get the hands out. Oh, the hands do Where did I put the Hans? Hans Gruber. Did I put the Hans over there? No, I didn't do that. Did I put them in the box? Don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I put it in here. I bet you I did. No. Oh, yep. There they are. Also, another thing to note that I did forget. This troop builder actually does come with a weapon for the first time. A troop builder does come with a weapon. So, he does come with this pistol. It is an extended magazine, and it has a hush puppy on it. So, that looks pretty cool. I like the sculpt of it. Looks to be like a Glock. You can actually see the Glock like trimming on the sides. Like, I always called them gills. So that's what every Glock looked like it had to me. Gills. So you have vertical pistol grips right here. You have a lateral grip for the cupping hand right there. See the lateral? Another lateral for the knife hand or gripping hand. And then for the fist hands, also lateral. So vertical for the pistols, lateral for everything else. So that's pretty much it for that. There's very minimal paint applications. Here is the other head. I'll pop the Caucasian head off and put the African-American head on there. There we go. African-American, black, white, Caucasian, whatever you'd like to call. Whatever floats your boat as far as that goes. But there's the black man head right there. Perfect. And then as far as the torso goes, I know I went off on a little bit of a tangent in the middle of articulation, but I wanted to show the different articulated hands. The back goes back about that far. That's maxed out. Goes forward about that far. Pivots side to side. Really good range of motion there. And these are straight out of the package. I have not warmed any of these up. And I'm doing that on purpose because I want to see if there's going to be any improvement or breakage. And there's a huge improvement here in quality. He can swivel up top. So that's really good. He can crunch on his own up top if you just hold that lower torso piece. He can crunch a little bit with the lower upper torso piece. He can also pivot on its own, and he can swivel a little bit. It does tap the sides a little bit, but you really don't need it as long as you have the diaphragm joint. And if you're trying to get into sniper poses, it actually does help with that because you can really get him to look back. I know this looks ridiculous, but once you have him in a actual sniper pose, it actually works quite well. And once you use, obviously photo manipulation, it'll look a lot more natural, I promise. He does have, I know a lot of people like these. I just personally don't like drop down legs unless they're on a figure arts figure. I feel like they're the ones that have really mastered that. And I just, every time I do a drop down leg, I feel like it's going to snap off. I just don't like them personally. But they are there. They do exist, as you can see. So if you want to get him into extreme kicks, he can Van Damme it. He can swivel at his upper thigh. And this is why I don't like drop down thighs, is because when I'm twisting this, do you see how much pressure that's pushing in on the joint right there? It'll move, but it's almost like you want to hold that in place and then move it back and forth. Because the more you keep pushing on this, the more I feel it's going to snap that ball right off. So these are just things I think about. I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal to other people, but I usually try to apply pressure to the right parts of the joint so nothing snaps off. Double jointed knees. I know this is taking forever. I'm sorry. He does have a boot swivel right here. Pointy toey, pointy heely. He's got the ankle pivs. Oh God, I need to stop talking. And 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet. I promise you I'll never say ankle pivs ever again. All right? Ever. God, that's awful. So there you go with that. He looks really good. He stands well. He looks natural. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I'm going to try and find an unmasked head that looks like Grunt. And in the future, I'll do like an update video, or we can do some sort of customizing showcase where I turn him into Grunt. I would like to find some like sleeves rolled up, or I don't know. Grunt though kind of looks like your garden variety kind of guy though. You know, that's what Grunt is. So maybe I'll simplify it. I'll just make him look a lot more modern, which will fit, I feel like, right in with most of the classifieds figures. But that's pretty much the Delta Trooper right there. As far as getting his stuff on him, here is the that. Here is the that. Yes, here is the that. And we get out of there. All right, there's 2 down. Let's see if the vest. So I haven't even tried this yet. I want to see how hard the vest is to get on. Because wave 1, taking a vest off or putting the vest on was painstaking. I want to see if they actually. Let's take the head off because the head is going to get in the way. I want to see if they improved on that. Now, when disassembling it all, I still recommend that you definitely heat up your joints, even though they have fixed the fluidity problems with Wave 1 and even Wave 2A. I still wouldn't risk it and just start pulling and yanking and popping stuff off. Could I try to put the vest on Duke? Maybe when I'm done. Sure. Just stick with me. You know, at the end, I'll try and see what we can do with some of the classified stuff, and we'll see if it fits on there. But I just want to get through the actual figures first, okay? So just hang in there, and I'll do it. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it's pegging in a lot easier. So, all right, man. I mean, we're on a roll here. Action Force is on a friggin' roll. That pegged in so easily. Very simple, not hard to do. There is some assembly required with the tack vest after pegging it in. No problem. No problem. No problem at all. Was it Geeks? Geeks? The belt, you're going to have to pop the torso off. I'm going to hold off on that for now because, I got a lot of complaints last time I did a live stream and I was using a hair dryer or a heat gun during the video. So I'll hold off on that, but I'll show you what the belt looks like on a figure. Some assembly required with the tack vest right here. This little antenna. You want to take that antenna. There's a little hole on the right hand or left hand side of the figure. Right on the back, you just want to plug that right in there. Now, personally, I'm going to super glue this in because I don't trust plastic on plastic friction. Personally, stuff just pops out. I mean, there is actually a pretty deep. It is in there pretty deep, but I don't trust it. I want it to stay in forever. So this, just to note, is a harder tolerance. So just be careful if you bump this the wrong way or if it does take a spill off of the shelf that you own, it could possibly snap off or snap in half. It's just something to note. So they haven't gone full gummy plastic with some of the accessories. So it's a little bit of a harder plastic. I would just worry about that just a little bit. Next up, we've got we'll put the head back on for first things first. We'll put the head back on here. There we go. And that's what we got there. Let me see if anybody else commented here. Demgots, what's going on, buddy? All right, so we've also got some effects here, which we'll get to in a second. Got more Dusty hairs all over the place. Dusty is my dog, in case you're wondering why the hell I'm talking about Dusty. I named my dog Dusty. We've got the pistol right here. Really good looking pistol. It does have a sight on it, a red dot or whatever. Or not a red dot, a sight on it. Excuse me. A red dot would be underneath. on the Picatinny rail right there underneath. We've got extra magazines for his rifle here, which is silenced. It is different from Desert Rats. Desert Rats AR is not silenced, and I don't believe it has a grip on it either. So a little bit different between the two. You can store the extra magazines right in there, and they snap right into place. So however you want them faced, this way, that way, it's up to you. Hey, Andy, what's going on, buddy? Nice to see you, bro. Been loving the videos lately. Well, in general, but lately you've been uploading like crazy, and I'm loving it, bro. The effects go right into the rifle, right? That, just like that. That's like more of like a larger burst, rapid fire. Here we have a smaller burst, which probably could be used with the rifle still. And then we've got another, what looks to be, oh, this probably goes over a, I'm going to guess the pistol, maybe. Or it goes over, I see. It probably goes over a muzzle. But you can also use the larger burst on the pistol as well as the smaller one. And it fits right in there. And I know someone's going to ask, so I'll just show it now. Let me get a classifieds figure over here. Let's see if we got... I need a holy one. Holy diver. All right, so it also does work with other Action Force equipment. So bang, bang, choo-choo, pew-pew, bang, bang. Choo-choo. I don't know why I said choo-choo like a train. But pew, bang, bang. I'm trying to find somebody with a... Okay, here we go. Here's the new Cobra Officer, which part of the new reviews I want to have up. And guess whose stuff fits in the Hasbro stuff. So these do fit in with the Hasbro stuff. They're a little bit more loose, but they do fit. And pew, pew. Pew, pew. P-U. P-U. So it does fit with classified stuff. I know they just started dremeling holes into their muzzle. So there's that. So hopefully that answered all those questions. Next up, we're going to do the helmet. The earpieces kind of peg right into the back right there. And then you do want to swivel them up. So you don't want to make sure that they're sitting like that. Okay? You want to make sure that they're swiveled upward. And then this little plastic here is a pliable plastic for the mouthpiece, so he can chat to people. Now, usually what I'll do is I'll pop this on first, just like so. And then I'll take the optics. Now, if you want to have the optics up, you just simply peg them upside down, and that's how the optics are going to have to look. I know this is not accurate as to how optics would look, as far as this wouldn't be, unless you would, you'd be swiveling downward like this. You would flip it up, and then this would be facing the other way. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I hate saying that with a passion, and I hate that I just said it, but that's just the design, so you're going to have to deal with it. But that's what the optics look like down. I think it looks really good, to be honest with you. So if you're just looking for like a Delta Squad, or you just want to make some no-name guys and girls and stuff like that, you could do that with this. They're pretty much just kind of your garden variety troopers. They also come with a backpack, which if you pop the back open, you can store stuff in there, which is really nice, and just repeg it, just like that. Oops, there he goes. He's taking a nap. Peg hole in the back. Find the hole. Shift it around until you find the hole. Oh, the little antenna popped off already. I don't want to lose that. So there we go. There's the hole right there. Now I will say this with the new tack vest, the comms pack on the back, it actually does get in the way of the backpack and makes it look really stupid looking. Kind of like, look at that. It's with all of the new ones that have this vest. So I'm just not going to use a backpack. Desert Rat also does come with a specific backpack for him, and it looks just as awkward. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that because it's something that I noticed immediately. I was like, oh, man. Yeah, almost had me. But, you know, it is what... oh, I almost said it. I almost said it again. I'm not going to say it, though. Here is the holster and belt right here. Here are the extra magazines right there. Looks really good. We've got some like wire cutters right there. It looks like we got a flashlight right there for your rifle or whatever. It looks like a flashlight of some sort. And then we've got 2 extra mags right there. And then we've got your holster for your pistol, which is right here. And we just slide that right in there. And it fits right in perfectly. Nice and snug. You don't have to worry about it falling out or anything like that. So the Delta Trooper, really good. I like him quite a bit. His helmet's a little bit loose on his head. Just snug it down. Just kind of push down on the head. And now it's not as loose. So you don't have to worry about that too much. He's a lefty. He's a righty. Whatever you want to do. I'm just going to go righty just because that's what I'm used to. He can hold the rifle. Let's get him all situated here so he can hold his rifle properly. And we'll just not go with the cupping hand here, seeing as he's got a grip. Now you don't have to use the pistol hands like I am. You can swap the gripping hand look a lot more natural. But he can two-hand it. Let's get him into a shooting pose here. There you go. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. And you want to almost have that kind of tilted a little bit, especially if he's got optics on. Just like so. But it looks official, man. They're doing a really good job with these figures, and I am quite pleased, to be honest with you. Now, there is the great debate of what do you like more? Do you like holstered belts or drop downs? Personally, I've used both before with real steel. And I tend to like the belt holder a little bit better. I know drop downs are a lot more easy as far as pulling and shooting. But drop downs, when you're maneuvering and that shit's flopping all over the place, it's not fun. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I guess I'm more of a belt holstered person, to be honest with you. That's just me. That's what I like. It's personal preference there. So it also comes with a kniff. There's his kniff. It has a green and OD green handle. And let's get this out of the way really quick. And it slides right into the sheath, right on his... oh, there goes the optics. Slides right into the sheath on his tack vest. So this is essentially what he is going to look like. And let's get his optics looking up so we can get a look at that nice face sculpt that we've got here. And there we go. Set that down back on the head there. And he looks pretty official, man. I'm really, really liking this quite a bit. And it's just something as simple as just a trooper holder that is just fun to have around. So there you go. That is the Delta Squad Trooper. Now, let's get him out of the way. We'll retire him for the moment. Don't worry, I won't forget to try the tack vest on a classifieds figure. Actually, let's just get that out of the way because I know someone's gonna keep asking. So let's get that out of the way and try not to lose your antenna. That is task. You have a task. Should you choose to accept it, do not lose your antenna, okay? That's why I say glue it. Once you get it, glue it in. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, so let's get this tack vest off of him, and we'll try it on a classifieds figure and see if it works. And depegging it is quite simple too. Just took 2 seconds to depeg that. Let's pop the head off as well. It just makes life a little bit easier when you pop the head off. All right, now let's see what we can do with good old Wave 1. He's like my test dummy. Wave 1 Duke. I should probably pop the head off, shouldn't I? There we go. Let's see what we can get, what kind of work we can get done with Dookie here. Good old Dookie. Good old diggity Dookie. Now, the torsos are obviously going to be different, but it looks like, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure you can get this done here. Yep, it's going to work. Let's see what it looks like with this on. So if you wanted to get just a you know, whoa, head on, sir. I think it looks good. If you wanted to modernize Duke a lot more, you could do it. That's what he looks like with it. So I think it fits the aesthetic. Still giving that classic look, modernizing him a little bit more to make him look a little bit more like Pursuit of Cobra, which is always welcomed, especially in my book. But there you go. It can fit on a classifieds figure. And Duke is pretty much the general consensus as far as bodies go. So, yeah, that works. So there you go. There's your example. Hopefully that helped a lot of people with a lot of questions. No problemo. Eeks geeks. Alrighty. Let's get, all right, I'll just deal with that later. Oh, there we go. Got it on there. I don't know if that's the right way, but whatever. We'll deal with that another time. It's backwards, but whatever. Okay, so let's get the Delta Trooper out of here. Put his head back on so he's not running around like a chicken with his head cut off. All right, next up we'll do the next troop builder, the Garrison Trooper. I know a lot of people are pretty excited for this guy. I am as well. This is Karak. If you don't know who Karak is, I'll bring him in a second so we can indulge in Karak. So this is his troop builder. Oh, let me go get him really quick. Hopefully I don't knock everyone else over when I'm trying to pick up one figure, which always happens. All right, so we've got Karak here. Sorry, I'm too lazy. I don't feel like taking him off his display stand. Karak here. This is his troop builder. So if you wanted to, this is what he'll stand. This is what they stand. Whoa. This is what they look like standing next to each other. So he also has the same upper torso as Trigger to my immediate left, which we'll get to in a second as far as his review and stuff. But this is what they look like together, so there you go. All right, let's put him somewhere, and let's find a spot for that. Okay. The helmet is removable. Just pop it right off, and there is a regular balaclavaed person underneath there. This is kind of a one-way as far as the character goes. He is black. So there you go with that, which is pretty cool. I'm hoping we do get a little bit more diversity as far as the characters do go in the future. I know we're getting our females next, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to try and pre-order those this weekend. But the helmet, now the Garrison helmet, which looks very medieval times, right? Very 15th century, is on a modern day helmet. The same kind of helmet that comes with the Delta Trooper and all the other troopers. So here's The helmet, it's right here. It's the same kind of helmet. It's just got a kind of a mask hanging over it. Very nice sculpt. Whoa, I'm dropping stuff. Very nice sculpt as far as that's concerned. They've got little like breather holes up front, which looks really cool. And let's see if those are actually drummed through. They're not. They're just kind of faux aesthetic. But there's a little bit of like a red paint going across the left eye. His left eye, not our left, which would be this left, but his left. Let's see here. Andy says, are the pre-orders pay up front for Wave 3 or pay when they ship from Valaverse now? They are pay up front, so they are going to charge you immediately. So that's just the way they do it. So if you want to do a pre-order, just make sure you got the funds available. He did say the pre-orders are going to be up a lot longer than Wave 2A was. But even Wave 2A went back up for pre-order. I personally will tell you, don't pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know. I know what's going on with them. They have a lot of shipping issues because if you can afford it, just try to just directly pre-order them from Valaverse. It's a lot easier, or at least Dorkside Toys. Dorkside Toys actually got them around, I want to say, a week after the Valaverse figures dropped. So either go Dorkside or go Valaverse. Personally, I would just go Valaverse because it's just a lot easier as soon as they get the product in, which he has expedited shipping for all the product. You'll get it a lot faster. Like this shipped, they got theirs in, I want to say, what was it, last week? I mean, mine just came today. So it's pretty fast shipping. And I'm in South Carolina, so I know they're shipping from Long Island, I think. So, but the helmet does fit on the head. Sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent there but I'm just trying to give as much information as I can. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask while we're live streaming here. So the helmet does fit on the head just like that. It's a nice snug fit. You don't have to worry about it falling off or anything like that. So there's that. They should, yeah, A&D, I wouldn't worry about it. If you're waiting to get paid next week, I would just wait it out. I don't think that these are going anywhere for a hot minute. I think there's only 4 in this wave as well. So it's not going to like slaughter you, pun intended. Sorry, it won't slaughter you as far as, money wise, but it is still kind of expensive to get at least one wave. And if you want to get like 2 of each, that's like something around $255, $260. So, I mean, it's, it is what it is. Oh, I said it again. God dang it. At least I didn't say that other word that I said I wasn't going to say. Anyway, the Garrison Trooper is essentially the same as the Delta Trooper, head to toe, except for a couple things. The knife is different on the Garrison Trooper. The rifle, obviously, he's got a G36 here. He does not come in a shipper box. He comes in a actual box. It says Garrison Cavalry. Just like so. So he's a $31, $32 figure. Action Force on the side. Artwork on the other side. And then here is the read-up right here. So if you wanted to pause and read that, if you're watching this on playback, you can. Okay. I'm just holding it up for the people watching live. So if you want to fast forward or pause or whatever you want to do to read, go ahead. But for everybody watching live, I'm just holding it up so you can read it. Also on the Valaverse website, you can check out all the comics. I think they're up to issue number 7. So be sure to check that out as well. So that's the packaging. Same hands that comes with everybody else. So I'm not going to rehash that. So the differences between the Delta Trooper and the Garrison Cavalry Trooper are the boots are different. And the forearms are different. He has exposed forearms. The gloves are exactly the same. They're just painted different. He's got little like red, maroonish color. Tack vest is pretty much the same. Let me just double check that. I don't want to stick my foot in my own mouth because I don't want to taste that. The sheath and the knife are completely different. Everything else, as far as sculpt goes, is the same. So there are little differentiations between the two. Even on the back, obviously my antenna's not in on this one, but same sculpt, everything. So the belt that he comes with is obviously different. He's got the old belt loop right here from Wave 1, where the Delta Trooper, if you get the weapons pack for him, or the Delta gear set, he comes with the holstered pistol belt. So the little differences between the two. But, you know, it's nice. I welcome that difference because he comes with drop downs. You've got like a med kit right here. And then over here, you've got your drop down holster. He also comes with a different pistol. This is a pistol that was available in Wave 1's weapon set. So that's nice. Hopefully we get some SIGs in the future. I would love that. I own a couple SIGs myself. I'm a big fan of SIGs, so hopefully we get some of those in the future. That would be nice. Nice little, at least just one SIG would be great. I like the G36. It looks pretty good. There's not a whole lot of paint apps to it. It's just kind of, you know, pretty much plain black, which is, who cares? I don't need a ton of paint apps with that. But he can hold everything. Same articulation as the Delta Trooper. So pretty much exactly the same. I'll go through articulation with him with his gear on, just so you can get an idea of what kind of range of motion he has with everything on. So the head can still swivel at a full 360 rotation. And it can put his he can put his head back. He can put his head down. We got jive turkeys up in here. So there's that. He can tilt a little bit, especially with the helmet. Arms go up about that far. They go down. It does have the butterfly joints. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. Swivel at the wrist. Lateral, or vertical, excuse me, hinge joint, pistol, up and down. Lateral with all the other hands. He can crunch forward with the vest on. Let's see if we can get a real big crunch in there. He can crunch back a little bit. You could probably still get him into a sniper pose if you just use that neck and that crunch as much as you can. He can swivel. No issues there. He can pivot. He can also, you know, do the Van Dams, the RVDs, whichever Van Dam you like, maybe both. Upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee right there. He does have a boot swivel, pointy toey, pointy heel, and ankle pivot. These are the same boots that came with Sergeant Slaughter and a plethora of other figures. So that's pretty much it for the Garrison Trooper. He does have his own logo on his tack vest right there. It looks like a very Lone Star-ish logo, which I'm fine with. The knife, the kniff in here, looks very similar to Wave 1's kniff. And then he also has his own logo on his chest as far as being very specific right there. So there's that. maybe it's like a team insignia, and he also has a carabiner over there. So for repelling and such, that'd be really cool if like eventually we can get like some sort of like like a almost like a, you know what, I always like the rock vipers. I really liked when those figures came out, the rock vipers, especially with the little gimmick that they had with the backpack with the string that can go up and down through the backpack, and you could propel them if you needed to. That'd be a really cool thing if we could eventually get like some sort of, not so much a gimmick, but like some sort of like repelling actiony type thing. But he can hold his rifle in here. The all of the weapons are of a harder plastic, so just like I said, be careful whenever there's harder plastics with softer plastics. Usually the harder plastics don't win. The softer plastics are always going to win. Try not to tuck this underneath the arm. I said this with wave 1 too much. Try not to force it. Just ease it in there. If you want to get this pose, you can do it. But try not to force it in there because you might snap the stock off. And you don't want to do that. So just forewarning people, just be careful. Don't force anything. If you feel resistance, don't go keep pushing it. You might break something. So just trying to help out. But I think it looks pretty official. I like the gray on him with the kind of maroon color. I think it looks really good. Very, very good. And I like the uniqueness of the helmet. Some of the bodies are starting to look a little too similar. I would like a little bit of a refresh, maybe in wave 4, if we get in, when we're getting into like future waves, maybe kind of switch it up, because, you know, Desert Rat's body is almost the same as his body, is same as Condor, is same as the Delta Trooper, is same. Little differences here and there, but it would be nice to get a little bit more variety as far as the bodies go. It almost looks like everyone's wearing the same uniform, just different colors sometimes. That's a nitpick. But that is the Garrison Trooper. Let's get him out of there. Next up, we will do, I want to spend a little bit more time on Desert Rat because I want to show a few things. So we'll go through with Trigger. Now, Trigger, I think a lot of people are going to like Trigger. He's kind of your, Bobby said, wave 4 should be bigger body bucks. Oh, sweet. Okay, I'm down with that. Don't have an issue with that. I got a feeling a lot of people are going to like Trigger for a few reasons. A, if you're a Ghost Recon Wildlands fan, I think you're going to like Trigger. B, if you're a rock and roll fan, I think you're going to like Trigger. Trigger looks like a updated modern version of rock and roll, if I could pick one out. Backwards cap. You know, maybe he wouldn't be bald. He'd probably have long hair, but he's definitely bald underneath there. It's nice to see my bald people. Yes. We're reigning supreme so far. The Oakleys, the red beard. I don't know, the just the vest, the tack vest he got here. It just looks like modern day rock and roll to me. So that's what I'm going to use him as. I know we're supposed to get a classified rock and roll. But I ended up getting 2 of everything, so I'll use one as Trigger, one as rock and roll, call it a day. Simplify things. That's that simple. He comes with a saw. Looks really good. Does have a bipod, which you do have to attach once you get the figure. This is where you would use the other muzzle flash, the other one I was talking about. Let's get that up there like so. And we'll just imagine that I have the cupping hand on here. And we'll just imagine that there we go. So you just want to slide that into the hole. That's what she said. And then there you go. Just like, I know this is a terrible pose, but I'm just trying to show you the muzzle flash, really. I'm not trying to, show my posing skills here. So there's the muzzle flash. It just fits right over that. There is no hole for a muzzle, so you'll have to use the muzzle flash that fits over the muzzle. I keep saying muzzle, muzzle, muzzle. Whenever I was a kid and I would hear the word muzzle, I always thought it was like some sort of rodent. I'm like, oh, what a little muzzle, you know. My dad's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's a part of a gun. It's like, oh, I thought it was a rodent. Never mind. I'm going to shut up now. Trigger looks cool. I like him. Let's get this out of his hand because I want to show this off really quick. The saw is one of my favorite light machine guns. I love especially this design with the fixed stock like this. I also love the Parasaw, which I really want to get from Gridiron Studios. It looks really good. So this is a really cool design. I think they did a really good sculpt work with this as well. I know Bobby said his designer for all of his weaponry, all of his accessories, really tries to go by realistic looking stuff. So how it looks is how you get it. This is essentially what a real saw would look like with this type of buttstock. It's got the canister for the ammunition that's belt fed right into the glory hole, as I call it. But there you go. He's got the sights up top, sights on the back. It is a green color with black, so it breaks up the monotony. You do have, like I said, the bipod up front. You can set it down and it will sit. So if you want to have him pose doing something else, you can put the saw down if you want to. So there you go. You got some options there as well. So looks really good. I like that the belt-fed ammunition is painted. They did a really good job on that. Nice, crisp, and clean job with that. To note with the bipod, I did have to use some force with it just to get the bipod on. Don't be afraid. You won't snap it. I would definitely recommend laying it down like this and then pushing in and popping it in, keeping it flat. Just do it in one fluid motion, push really hard, and just go pop, and it'll pop right in. He also comes with a headset, which is removable. You don't have to always have the headset on if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. It does fit on his head. It's definitely not the most secure. I mean, I'm shaking it now, and it's not too bad, but when you get the mic lined up with the mouth, it kind of throws the ear off a little bit. So it doesn't sit just exactly the way you want it to, but it gets the job done for the most part. It's not going to really break up the immersion for you. We have pinless joints on this wave. So, I know there's some people complaining. Some people love to complain about if they have pins on their figures or not. I personally don't give a shit, but that's just me. I really like the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks really good. Looks very modern day operator. So kudos to the face sculptors, whomst ever you are. He comes with the Wave 1 belt with the little loop on the back. This is an all new sculpt right here for the vest. Actually, no, this came with Sarge. I'm sorry. This came with Wave 2A Sarge with the shirtless Sarge. So I lied. Drop down holster from Wave 1. He does come with this, which I forgot what this pistol's called. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. But it has a muzzle flash hider on it, and I believe an internal silencer, I think. Most of the good guys have them. Some of the bad guys have them, like the Swarm. Med kit, drop down leg holster thingy. The feet are different. They have now cuffs that go over the foot, which is very reminiscent to the Joe Trooper from Retaliation, which is seen as one of the best G.I. Joe figures ever made. That figure's body is perfect, absolutely perfect, but looks really good. Definitely, I could see where that's where he got the design. I wonder. Yeah, I'm not sure if Bobby Vela did design the Joe Trooper. He may have. So if he did, thank you, Bobby, and kudos for the little. I don't know if it was an intentional kind of nod to the Joe Trooper, but if it was, I see you. Good job. I really like this kind of camo pattern. It really makes him look unique. I like that quite a bit. That with the gloves, I love the knuckle duster gloves. These look fantastic. So I'm really liking it. Call it Drunk Tony. You guys making fun of Desert Rat? The left eye, yeah. We'll get to that with Desert Rat. So I'm kind of saving him for the last. But this figure looks really good. I'm very pleased with how he turned out. He does have the Action Force logo on his hat. I don't know if that's picking up. Let me get in a little bit closer here. There it is right there. You can see it on the hat. And this is removable like all the other tack vests are removable, so you don't have to worry about taking that off personally. But if you want to, you can. I'm not going to on mine just because I don't know if it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it back on. He does have a little grabber hook right here, so if he's injured, you can have someone stick their finger underneath there and drag him out of harm's way. I'll go through articulation really quick with him. I'm going to make it really quick just because I have done it with Wave 2A Sarge. But his head can swivel, full 360 rotation at the head. His head can look up. Really good job, man. I mean, even with that ball cap on, great job. Head can look down. Jive turkeys up in here. Head can tilt side to side. Arms go up about that far. They go down. Full 360 rotation in the arm. He does have a butterfly joint, a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, swivel at the wrist, vertical grip here. All the other hands he comes with, lateral. We're finding a pattern here. He has a lot more range of motion than the other figures that have tack vests. So you can move the upper torso like a lot. He can get way more of a crunch than the other guys. Forward to back. He can swivel. Van Damme. Forward. Back. Upper thigh swivel. He does have a double jointed knee. And like I said, all these figures are straight out of packaging. I didn't heat any of these up. So these are very fluid joints now. I haven't even seen a shred of paint come off. Nothing. They've got it down to a science now. Pointy toey, pointy heel. A little bit hindered due to the sculpting of the pants and the cuffs on the feet. But he does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes. So that is essentially it for Trigger here. I really like Trigger. Like I said, he is a multi-purpose kind of guy. You can use him as rock and roll. You can use him as Trigger himself. You can use him as Nomad from Ghost Recon Wildlands if you wanted to. Hell, man, he is a multi-facet, multi-purpose kind of guy. That's just how he gets down, you know? I like the design. It looks very, like I said, very modern operator, which I'm sure a lot of people, it'll resonate with them. So that's good. But he is very easy to pose. There's no issues. I'm getting him into some ridiculous crouching pose. I know, but it's just, trying to show what he can do as far as fluidity and balance, and no one would actually probably shoot like this. But sorry, harnessing my Bruce Pritchard, Jerry Jarrett impressions. All right, there you go. And that's how he looks. Yes, Exorcist, exactly. But there you go, man. He looks good. I like him quite a bit. Simple in design. Feeds the need, man. feeds that need. Everything has a purpose, right? Mosquitoes. Even mosquitoes, I hate them. But there you go. That is Trigger. He looks good. Fantastic. Love him. Welcome to the collection, sir. All right, moving on. We'll get him out of there now. Then I'll do a little Q&A at the end. Bringing in Mr. Desert Rat here. This is based on Tony from... Well, it's not based on. This is Tony from Analog Toys, if you guys watch that channel. It is him in the face. He's a very lucky person to be made into plastic form on an actual toy line. Obviously, he is friends with Bobby Valaverse, and Bobby wanted to throw him into the toy line. So there you go. Here he is. The rest is history. He does come with some accessories, like you can see here. He comes with his rifle here. The antenna will already be attached to the tack vest. Everything else will be on him, just like you see here. The knife will also be in his sheath. He gets this little kind of scarf. I forgot what they're called. Someone's going to say it in the comments and make me feel stupid. But whatever. He also comes with a backpack. Now, here's the backpack issue again. You plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. And it kind of sits kind of cockeyed. And that's kind of the issue, is that this piece of sculpted mastery is in the way. Now, I almost half wondered if they thought about this and they were like, oh, let's make it removable so you can take it off. But no, you can't. So you can't do it. Can't do it, Captain. The dilithium crystals won't hold. That was a terrible Scottishman. Just ignore me, please. Just ignore me. Sorry. But this is what he comes with. Pretty much the very similar body to the Delta Squad Trooper, the Garrison Trooper. Kind of an amalgamation of them and the Trigger feet. So there's that. I think it looks pretty accurate to Tony. And like someone brought up, some of the figures, like I got 2 Desert Rats because I want to use one for Desert Rat and the other one for a modern Dusty action figure, which I have a little kit that we'll get into. Maybe I'll shoot that video and we can discuss that. I'll do a little how to turn Desert Rat into Dusty from modern looking Dusty. But that's a different story for a different time. Desert Rat here, like I said, this is what he comes with. This was the loadout that he wanted for his character. He does have the British Union. What is technically? It's not a. Is that technically a Union Jack? I'll just call it the British flag. There. I don't want to sound like an idiot. So there we go. Knife is removable, just like the Delta Squad Trooper, and he does have a little palm tree logo right there, which looks pretty cool. Like it. Yes, also he does have arm tats right here on the forearm, which does separate him from the rest of the pack, which I don't think anybody else has tattoos. So he is the first to be tattooed. And it goes all the way around his arm because he does have full sleeves, if you have seen Analog Toys in the history of ever. But I don't know. I like the loadout. I think it looks really cool. I think it fits what Tony wanted to look and used to wear. So kudos to him. He was in the service. So good job. Good job. Now, the issue that, like I said, besides the backpack issue, some of the heads are looking real questionable as far as the eyeballs go. Some of the eyeballs are like way googly-eyed, like my other one that I got mint on card. That head is, I was like, whoa, Tony! It was like the first one in the box that I opened up that I saw, and the face was staring at me, and it's like It was like, "Hey, Tony, how you doing? Holy shit, it scared the crap out of me. I thought he was going to start spewing out grieved vomit next." But regardless of that, this head sculpt looked a lot better, so I opened up that one. He does come with a pistol, which is the same pistol that came with Duster, just black plastic, and it does fit right into the holster right there on the side. Magazines are removable, so is that magazine on his rifle. So if you wanted to switch out, you could. His AR comes with no silencer like the Delta Squad, and that's the difference between the two. He does not use hush puppies. There's the hush puppy. So there you go. This is essentially Tony. Same articulation, pretty much same range of motion. You can remove the scarf if you want to. Personally, I like the scarf. I think it looks good. So I'm not going to remove it. Just going to leave it for now. So the head sculpt itself, I think, looks pretty cool. It even has a little bit of gray shading on the sides of the head right there. He's a little bit of the silver fox right there. Mostly a tan color, which makes sense. Desert rat, you would be in the desert. You don't want to have a bunch of dark clothing. You want to have lighter clothing, so it makes perfect sense. Trust me, I work in the heat constantly, so I understand that from a postal worker's perspective. But I like the little hints of different paint right here. It's almost like a grayish, whitish paint right here for the kind of breathable parts, like the upper shoulder and even near the butterfly joint where the armpits would be. So the shirt looks a little bit more breathable, and even around near the torso, on the sides of the torso here. So little differentiation between paint applications, so he's not all just one big blob of khaki, or beige or whatever. The boots also a tan color, so it makes sense as far as functionality. Scarf, you want to have a scarf, trust me, you want to cover your face as much as possible, head, while in the sun, so it makes sense. British logo right there, looks really good, crisp and clean, don't have any issues with it. All the other paint apps on the tack vest look very nice. He's got light paint shading going throughout the back of the vest as well. And for the most part, I really don't have any issues with any of the figure. No issues with the joints. I haven't had any Action Force figures break on me. The only issue I've had with any of the Action Force figures was Wave 1. Sergeant Slaughter came with 2 left feet, and the figure's foot got replaced. I contacted Valaverse, and they sent one right over within like a couple days. So I haven't had any quality control concerns. I know some people have with breakage issues, but like I said, try not to ham fist these or any figure really. Don't ham fist stuff. Don't force stuff. If it's giving you too much resistance, heat it up, then try to remove it or move it or whatever. But yeah, don't ever try to force something because it's obviously not going anywhere for a reason. So overall, I like the figure. Like I said, the other head sculpt I got is not as good as this head sculpt. But I think it does look like Tony. So kudos on them. I think that's about it. That should be it. I didn't get into the packaging, so I'll just bring in his packaging really quick. Now, he got special packaging because he was a Valaverse exclusive, I believe, for the Wave. So he got old school Action Force looking packaging. I think this is really cool. I know that they're doing some exclusives, like there's a Joe Con exclusive that they're doing not Desert Rat, with a couple of exclusives. I think there's one. Is there one of Duster? I know there's one of Sarge. like 1 of 500, stuff like that. But these are really cool vintage style packaging, and it's nice to actually have one in hand. I think it really pops. It looks really good. Action Force on the side. Picture of Desert Rat right there. And here is the beloved read up. So I'll just leave it right there. If you guys want to read it, go by all means, go for it. And I'll bring it in closer so you guys can actually read it. If you're watching this on playback, just go ahead and pause it and read it, and then fast forward when you are prepared. But overall, I'm really pleased with Series 2 as a whole. Series 2B is probably the best wave as far as joint fluidity. Definitely really pleased with how it turned out. And that's the whole read up. But yeah, very pleased overall with this wave. Very impressed. They definitely stepped up the game. And that's what you like to see with a toy line, especially a new toy line that just started pumping stuff out. I mean, literally, I got Wave 1 end of December of last year. Wave 2, end of January of this year. And now here we are in just, and towards the end of June, and we've already got 3 waves of figures, technically. I know this is 2A and 2B, but it's technically 3 waves. You're getting them separately. So and now we're about to get the 3rd wave, which is wave 3. So we're really getting 4 waves within a very short time span. For a young upstart company that's improving their stuff, I'm not sponsored by them at all. I'm pretty sure these guys don't even know I exist. But I'm going to give the devil his due when it's due. And I think this is a really good product. I'm very pleased with it. It's got its own lore. There's comics out there that you can read for all these characters that I've discussed in the past. I pretty much have the whole run. It's fun to read. It's fun to reread. Go check it out. It's definitely more for an adult collector, an adult reader as well. Especially with the issue number 7 was very more of a mature audience type comic, but I don't know. It's scratching an itch. I have a lot of itches, but it's scratching a itch. These are nice as far as customization goes. They're really good for just kind of expanding your horizons as far as being creative. And that I've always welcomed. I've had a whole Marauders series for years before that was like a popular thing. I know I haven't done in a while, but because they haven't really come out with product lately, and I know they're not at Joefest this year, so I hope everything's good on their front too. But for now, the time being, I'm just going to enjoy what is available, which is Action Force and some of the classifieds figures that I enjoy. But for the most part, this is definitely scratching an itch for me. I think they're doing a really good job. I thought this wave they knocked it out of the park. Like I said, 4 figures in a wave. It's simplistic. It's affordable as far as a specialty item. These are specialty items. This is not sold in stores. So you have to go to specific websites to buy these. Therefore, I consider that a specialty item. For $31.99 per figure, and this guy's $21.99. I think it's still, like I said, there's some figures that are reaching. They're getting up there as far as price, and Hasbro's trying to get up there as far as price goes, and they're giving you the same or less quality for a little bit cheaper. But I don't know, man. I'd rather have this. I know the Classifieds line is doing its damn thing, and I'm not going to hate on the Classifieds line. There's a lot of really good Classifieds figures. not dissing that, but when I look at Marvel Legends, I'm looking at you. I'm not impressed by Marvel Legends at all. This is much more impressive than Marvel Legends is. Now, granted, it's a little bit more expensive, but really, I mean, for a specialty item against a retail release, it's not that much of a difference after tax and shipping and all that. Like, it's really close as far as price point goes. So, quality, I like this. Like I said, the drop down legs, I don't like drop down legs on most figures unless they're Figuarts. I feel like Figuarts has really mastered that. Not to say that there's anything wrong with these. I'm just saying personally, I just don't like them. I just yeah, Andy said it perfectly. And these are easier to get. These are available. They're easier to get than classifieds. And there's the most important thing I'll go back to. They're available. You don't have to wait a year and a half or a year to get this. You pre-order Wave. I guarantee Wave 3 will drop a lot sooner than you guys think. So, now, there's a lot of people complaining about Big Bad Toy Store not shipping Wave 1. That's on Big Bad Toy Store. That's not on Valaverse. Valaverse, I'm pretty sure you might be able to go on their website. Don't quote me here, but you might be able to pre-order Wave or order Wave 1 on there still. I don't know. I know Wave 2A is on there still, so you can order those. But Big Bad Toy Store's shipping problems is their shipping problems. They chose not to use expedited shipping, and they're using their own shipping method. So if you're got an issue that's not Valaverse messing it up, that's on Big Bad Toy Store. And once they get product, they ship it out right away. So, and we all know Big Bad Toy Store usually ships stuff. They take a while to ship. So, Dorkside might have some. I haven't checked. But, keep an eye out. Just check your typical sites. And personally, I go to the direct source. I go directly to the source that is Valaverse to purchase all my stuff. So, same thing with Spawn and McFarlane stuff. I go directly to the source. I don't even mess with anybody else. On top of that, McFarlane's got some great prices on there, but this is about Valaverse right here. I don't want to go off on a tangent. And like I said, if you feel more comfortable with Big Bad Toy Store, go for it. But you'll be waiting. I'm just going to let you know. You're going to definitely be waiting a lot longer. Why aren't I feeling Marvel Legends? I'd like to know. Because they haven't changed all that much in about 7 years. Well, I mean, really, you have to buy a retro carded figure just to get some extra sculpting. And then they couldn't even paint the lines on Shocker. I had to paint these lines in. So, I mean, it's not just that. I'm just using that one figure as an example. But there's plenty of stuff that's an issue with Marvel Legends. All the comic book figures use very little sculpting. Look at all the movie figures. They get sculpting. Some of their paint is better too. I don't know. I know the budgets are probably different, and I know the movie figures sell Marvel Legends, and they help sell, and I get all that. I'm not an idiot. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been on YouTube doing action figure reviews for over 10 years now. So I get it, but when I'm looking at a figure from 2015 and it looks on par with a figure from 2022, it's just like, yeah, I'm good. And this is a reason why I don't collect Marvel Legends anymore. So I simply don't care. I really only cared to get my X-Men and some of the other core team members. Like, I want to finish off the New Warriors. That's it. But I really don't collect Marvel Legends like that anymore. I mean, looking at the controller wave, like, that's all just same old Marvel Legends release stuff. Like, it's just, I've had enough. And I don't want to spend the money on that when I can spend the money on something else that's better, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's pretty much why I don't collect. Oh, I just realized A bunch of Mythic Legions just fell over. That's great. Um, Gummy knees kill me. I love movie Deadpool. He has gummy is hell. Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's the other issue. Gummy stuff. You know, all my stuff is in a controlled climate environment, so I'm good. But some stuff, you know, it's not aging well. With some of these figures. I'd hate to say it, but it's actually the more figures I've had issues with as far as gummy legs bowing and warping and stuff, mostly the movie figures. I feel like their plastics are a little bit different than the comic book figures. So I guess it's really give and take with a lot of things in life, isn't it? You know, that's just the way things work. But personally, I don't mess with Marvel Legends, so at least anymore. I have boatloads of Marvel Legends, and I'm just done with it. Most of my classifieds can't stand straight up. Well, you got to work those legs, bro, because all my classifieds stand straight up. They're sitting right there, and they're all standing. Like I said, here's a tip for posing any figure, all right? You want to get them to any pose. I'll just use the Delta Trooper here, all right? You know what? Duke. Let me fix his bandolier first. All right. So, I'll show you a trick. Work from the ankles up whenever posing. If you work from the ankles up, the ab crunches. Oh yeah, well some of the vests you got to work around that. But any pose you want to do, you can pretty much do. Hopefully the stress on his joints aren't too bad. I know my other Duke. Yeah, I see some of these stress tolerances. Yeesh. See that white? Anyway, I'm going way off on a tangent here. But anyway, so whenever posing a figure, let's say I want to get him into some sort of crouching pose, right? Now, worry about the upper torso last, okay? You want to go from the ankles. Well, bend your knees the way you want them. So however you want your knees, get them to where you want them or where you think you're going to want them, okay? Then go from the ankles up. Just work the ankles, and he won't fall, I promise you. If you work the ankles first, because the ankles are the anchor to the figure, he's not going anywhere. Then work your way up to the head, okay? So if you want to get him into some sort of ready pose, work your way up, work the knees next, keep those ankles sturdy. The ankles, like I said, are the anchor and how they distribute the rest of the body's weight. So if your ankles aren't right, now there's going to be some hindering, sure. Right here, there's a little bit of hindering, so you work around that. Twist that thigh. Thigh is twisted. Let's get a little crunch here. We'll make him look a little hunched over, like he's like, what? What? If I can get him into this crunching pose and it's taking me, 20 seconds? If he can do this, he can stand up straight. Okay? Work from the ankles up. I'll keep bumping the damn camera. Stop it. Work from the ankles up. All right? It's just a little tip. I'm not trying to be pompous when I say this. I'm just trying to help. Sometimes I come off a certain way, and I'm not trying to. Now, when just trying to stand him in a neutral pose, keep the arms straight. Okay? Once you get him into, he's neutral here, up top, yet again, working from the ankles up. Keep those ankles anchored. Make sure the knees, thighs, upper torso, arms, twist a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural. And there you go. He's not falling over. He'll be sitting here for the next month and a half if I leave him here like that. He's not going anywhere. Like I said, always work from the ankles up, no matter what pose you're doing. Obviously, get your joints into what pose you think you're going to want first. Then work from the ankles up when you're trying to stand them. That it helps the best. I'm telling you. That's what's always helped me. And none of my figures fall over, even though, well, my figures fell over for a different reason. I had a friend in here, and partially my fault. I had stuff on the ground. He went to go stepped on a package, which was just garbage anyway, which shouldn't have been on the floor. My fault. He went to go grab something. I'm like, whatever you do, don't grab anything because you'll knock a bunch of stuff over. And he bumped into a shelf, and a couple Mythic Legions fell, and I forgot to check on him after he left, and that was about a week and a half ago. So, but my figures don't fall over, man. Like there's some times where like a Marvel Legend will fall over. That those sons of bitches are notorious for falling over. But I don't have any display stands other than the Action Force display stands, and the only reason I use those is because they look so damn good with the damn file card on there. I can't help it. Look how good this looks. Where'd he go? 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 Okay. Here's Karak again. Look how good that looks. That looks so damn official. And if I want to play with them, pose them, take photos, do stuff, he pops right off of here, pops back on. He's got the nice little file card and the little slot right here. Just slide that on there, and bam. Look how official that looks. It looks fantastic. So that's really the only display stands I use. There's a couple McFarlane figures that I'll use display stands for just because they, like, what was it? What's his name? Oh, God, I can't think of his name. Anyway, but there's a couple McFarlane figures that I do use display stands for just to balance them because they're so big and bulky up top that they need a display stand to help them stand, which is unfortunate. But with all of my classifieds figures, they all stand. I don't have an issue with that. So if you think a figure can't stand and you need a figure stand to stand them, that you got to work on your posing. Look, I can literally set Duke here, same pose. He's not falling over. So, but yeah, Wave 2B. I feel like every time I say Wave 2B, it sounds like Wave 2B or not 2B. I feel like I'm. That is the question. Really good job. Very pleased with these. Keep it up. This is a line that I get pretty excited for as far as that goes. And unfortunately, with a lot of toy lines these days, I'm not too excited about a lot of the stuff. I mean, there's McFarlane stuff their stuff is gorgeous. Classified stuff, which has gotten a lot better, leaps and bounds better, I think. Some stuff I don't like, though. But that's a different story for a different time. Good point. We've added depth to the figures. I love them. My favorite in the SERP. Yeah. Yep. Commando Snake Eyes is dope. The only thing I have an issue with, and that's why I have this head. This is actually a custom head on this Snake Eyes. The Snake Eyes that Hasbro came out with the Commando that came out with Timber, that Commando Snake Eyes, I don't like his head. His head looks flat on top. I don't know. I know this is just a personal preference thing. Maybe it doesn't bother anybody else. But this head looks a lot more natural. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It probably is, and that's fine. But personally, I like that head better. I'm glad I got the head that I do over the Commando one. Because the Commando one, while thought process-wise, he looks really good. I feel like the execution of that head, like he's a little bit like he's got a flat top. That's just me. Hopefully, I didn't shatter the glass anybody too much. But I have droned on long enough here. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. There's not really much else for me to say other than they did a good job. 2 thumbs up for Action Force and Valaverse. Great job. I'm going to have a lot of fun within the next, hopefully I get a day off soon. Thanks, Eeks Geeks. I appreciate it, bud. Hopefully I get a day off to kind of play around with these. And I'm going to try and get that classifieds video up. And then I do want to get that custom Dusty action figure up of a 6-inch, what I think should have been the classifieds Dusty. But that's just me. So with that being said, I will let you guys go. Jason Fritz, thank you so much for popping in. Thank you, everybody, Eeks Geeks and A Indy. Appreciate it, buddy. The Casual Critic, very nice. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Everybody. Guts, Jossie, you're the man. Everybody. So just everybody, thank you for popping in. Kofi19, thank you also. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I did, Terry Turner, thank you very much again, and thank you for modding also. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always. You guys have yourself a great week. Be safe, and I'll see you guys